Welcome to another episode of Practical Organic Living. In this episode, we're going to be replacing our old chicken feeder and water with a new Omlet design feeder and water. We bought these ourselves. We are not sponsored by Omlet, but we are a fan of their products. We're going to open up this feeder and see what's inside. Yeah, there's a manual here. There's a cute cap here. And there are more parts. All right, so now we have to figure out how to put this all together, but it shouldn't be too hard. All right, so here's a whole bunch of parts. These are all in the manual, but basically here's a funnel, here's like a little cap, here's the feeder itself. This is the base here. These are stands, and these are the hoods. I'm gonna start assembling these. So basically you wanna take this. Again, you could probably look at the Omlet installation guide, but I'm gonna do it really quickly. Just gonna attach the stand guard here. And I like this design actually because it doesn't require a lot of metal parts because those rust really quickly in the rain and moisture. All right, so I've attached this on here. Next thing I'm gonna do is attach these hoods. So they're pretty easy too. I think what I have to do is just go like that and align these to the opening and just snap them in. Yeah, so it's pretty easy. Just gotta make sure you line them. They're a little tricky to put on actually, but once you line them, yeah, see, it's super easy to snap on and off. And they're held inside by like a little thing here that expands. So you can go like that to pop them out, and you just wanna make sure that they are locked. So we've got these hoods snapped in. Next thing I'm gonna do is just put this here to help funnel the food down. And then I'm gonna twist a hopper on here, like this. One of the last steps is to take this cap and put it on top of the opening here like this. And the way you lock it is genius because you don't have to screw anything. You just go like this. There you go. Now this cap doesn't move once you go like that. We also want to put some stands on here. So I actually should probably have done this earlier. So there's a little opening here. So you just slide it in like this, and it'll just lock like that. So it's a very easy snap based type of assembly, like that. And voila. So this is the feeder. This took a couple minutes to assemble. So yeah, we'll put this in the chicken coop in a bit. All right, and this is the water here. So we've got the instruction manual here. We've got some cap, and this is the water. We've got a little stand thing here, another base. Oh, okay, and some cups and, well, they call them nipples, but it's basically something for the chickens to peck at for the water to come through. Yeah, so similar design. So I'm going to go this way this time because the stand is actually very similar to the water. So you would just slide it in like that. Super easy. So this is the base, the stand. Yeah, so this is water. So you would unscrew this little knob down here, take it out, put this over, put this back in, and screw it to lock it in place. So the base doesn't really move around. This is a pretty nice design. So this design is nice because it's got like a little covering up here so that when it rains or there's dirt, it doesn't get into the water, which I like. Yeah, so like I was saying, the way these works is that basically the chickens are gonna peck on this, and then there's a rod that moves back and forth like that, and that's how water is gonna escape and fall here for the chickens to drink. So I'm gonna insert this in here like that, and then I'm gonna take the screw, put it over here, and then just tighten like this. Yep, like that. So now I'm gonna do that for all these. So there's a choice between a nipple, and we have these cups. So the reason you would use cups is because it actually takes chickens a little time before they know how to use these nipples. But in the meantime, all chicks know how to use the cups. So instead of putting these nipples here, you put a cup over here. And that's when chickens or chicks, that's when they would start using these cups. But when the weather's too hot, you would actually prefer using these nipples over using these cups. Another thing about this is that, first of all, it's a 3-gallon water. The nice thing I like about this also is that this is the water level. So you can tell how much water you have left. Because for some chicken waters, it's not that apparent how much water you have left. So I like this design. A couple other things is that this is very thick. So if I go like this, you can see how thick the base is. And that's great because it provides the water with insulation, which is really important in the hot months. So it doesn't really get that hot here, but when the sun beats down for a couple hours a day in the summer, the water can't get hot. Another reason why the color is green is because it theoretically prevents algae from forming. It'll be nice to not have to deal with algae, so we're excited to see how this works out. Oh yeah, and this is easy to keep clean because of the nipples and this design, but how you would actually use it is that you do the same thing with a feeder. So this is to lock it. You would see the lid here. This is to open it. I really like this design, by the way, because the less you have to twist, the better. Then you go like this. Another thing I should mention is that according to Omlet, you can hang this, but we're not going to do that. And you can also heat the water, but we're also not going to do that because we live in a place where we don't get freezes actually. So the water doesn't get cold. So what I'm going to do now that the feeder and the water are assembled, is to fill them up with both water and food. And we're going to put it in our Omlet chicken Eglu coop. So, okay, so we're going to carry this to the coop now. And the chickens should love their new toys. So let's see how they react to these new toys that they're going to get. All right, so this was our chicken sup. As you can see before, this is a 2-gallon water. So we're gonna take this out. And this is our chicken feed that we got from Amazon a while ago. And as you can see, it's starting to kind of rust on the edges. That's another reason why we wanted to give them something else. And this takes up a good amount of space too. So we also don't want to use this. So we'll probably put the feed here. Since we change out the water a little bit more often, we're going to put the water here. We'll make sure it's kind of level. Same with the food here. That's why I went in and kind of cleared this place out. But yeah, this is our new setup. So we may move this around depending on how the chickens find their new layout. But I think this is pretty cool. They have more space to run around, and this is just a nice space saver. So I'm glad Omlet came out with these two devices, the water and the feeder. I think it's really great. So that was our video on replacing the old chicken water and the chicken feeder with a new Omlet water and Omlet feeder. We hope that the chickens enjoy or get acclimated to their new feeder and water. But overall, we're pleasantly surprised by the build quality and the design of the feeder and the water. So we think it will last for a pretty long time, just like the coop has for us. And we're also very interested to see how the chickens are going to get used to their new feeder and water. Yeah, thanks for watching. And if you want to see more videos on how to raise chickens, go to our playlist. I'll link it down below. Over there, you can find a lot more videos on how we raise chickens, feed chickens, and how we care for the chickens. So with that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.